Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Moms Talks Sex podcast. I'm your host, Maura Yelvington of Morph Transform Your Reality, where I help women step out of trauma and reclaim their power. I'm so happy to have you here for this open conversation about moms, sex, motherhood, children, relationships, marriage, and everything in between. So grab your drink of choice and let's dive in. Today, the beautiful Amanda. Amanda, how are you?
I'm so happy to be back on. Hi, I'm Amanda. I am your coordinated mom on TikTok, or I'm chaos coordinated. But there's always chaos and there's always coordination. Just depends on how it comes.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Chaos coordination. Sounds kind of like my sex life.
That's normal, right?
That sounds familiar.
I mastered it at home, so now I can take it outside.
I mastered it in the bedroom, so now we can take it outside.
Shh, that's my secret.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, right.
So I'm so honored to have Amanda here with me, and we're just having this whole conversation, our conversation, all about moms and kids and all these things. And so we really wanted to share a few fun tips on how to bring more intimacy to your relationship with your husband or with your partner, especially when you have little kids, or maybe if you're like Amanda, she has two teenagers, which, as we both know, could be probably like a giant dose of judgment every single day.
So much. I try not to take it personal. That is key. Do not take anything personal from any age group. Honestly, just it's not personal is what I remind myself.
Yes, that's so funny. I always tell my kids, and a lot of times I tell them, like, that's also not you guys. Like
Right.
When my girl comes home from school and she's acting not like herself, I'll be like, who are you being right now? That's not you. So whoever you picked on from school and brought, you need to go return them and bring yourself back. That's not you.
Return to sender, no return addressed here. Like, do not put it back where you found it.
And you see their eyes, they go like, wait, what? She's on to me. What?
Yep. I wasn't trying to be like anyone. Oh, okay. Just checking.
You were just born with that attitude, right?
Well, my kids, yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that attitude, but not this attitude.
Yeah, right. You have one. That's not yours.
Yeah. This is a different kind of attitude. It has a whole different game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So, Amanda, how about you give us some tips? How do you maintain your intimacy in your relationship with your partner? What do you do that can really help our listeners bring more of that sexual energy into the relationship and to their life?
So obviously my number one go-to is and will always be communication. You have to communicate what you want, what you need, which I've actually been making a very distinct and a very like, what is the word? Meaningful, like a very conscious, meaningful effort to go, okay, we've been a little off. What is this? Is it me? Is it him? Okay, if it's me, quickly assess. No, all right, I think I'm okay. Maybe it's him. All right, give him a little space. But always communicating, like where you at or where you are at in your headspace is very important, because it's not only about you. You have a teammate, you have a partner. You need to make sure that they know they're safe too. So like if you're having a distressful moment, hey, I'm not feeling it today. All right, that's cool. I didn't get rejected because it wasn't me. I got rejected because you just having a bad day. All right. So, being able to distinguish, like, is it me or is it them? But also just like finding moments to make it fun. What is it that you wanted to do but haven't been able to do? Do you want to play around the house while the kids are at school? You want to play hooky like you used to in the old day? Yes, do something. Make it fun. You want to do it anyway, just do it. Who cares if you have to call out of work sick? I have a cold. Yeah, you do. Because you're in need of your person. You need them. And to have them, you might as well take advantage of it. My favorite way is trying to find little ways to sneak it in. we're supposed to be getting ready, but we take an extra, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes to just kind of, play a little. That's okay. It's okay. If everyone is safe, maybe one of the kids, mine specifically, is usually down for a nap and the other one is in there watching Elsa. I can live without Elsa for 5 minutes. It will be okay. And so can you. So take that 5 minutes, get your shower and get dressed, but also maybe, hey, play a little bit. It's fine. That's what you got to do. Keep it interesting and play a game. Sometimes my husband and I will go back to, I won't completely call it sexting, but we'll tease throughout the day. Sometimes I'll just send a picture, or he'll send a notice, like a text that's like, thinking about what I might do later. I'm like, oh yeah, what's that? And then it goes farther and farther. So, maybe full-blown sexting, but sometimes it's just a little teasing. But either way, getting on the level playing field of going, okay, yeah, this is happening. Let's do it. Now, there have also been times where you plan on it or you play up to it, and then, sleep happens. You get tired. Look, we're all adults. We have a life. We're doing 500 things at one time, but that's okay. If you're making a conscious effort to make sure you're fitting in time doesn't always equal spending money. Time doesn't always equal going out of your house and doing something. Sometimes it's literally just making up a play date in your own house. Sure, maybe it's after the kids go to sleep. That's okay. There's been nights where my husband and I literally will put the kids to bed and be like, I want to play a game. We'll pull out phase 10 and make a game of it. Literally just the other night, we played striptease phase 10. The kids were not at home. I will say that the kids were not at home. But I mean, do it, play that game, make it fun. The more fun you incorporate into it, I think it gets rid of that expectation. Oh, it's sex night. Okay, well, that sounds exciting. Let me do that. Or it's like, what can I do to make it interesting? What can I do that's not a stretch for me, but I can bring to the table something that we can both enjoy? Like, for an example, for New Year's, I had a tentative plan of something I wanted to do. We ended up having one of the kids, which is totally fine. We didn't really make a plan, but we also didn't want plans. We could have had plans, but we just, meh, it's okay. It's New Year's. There's plenty of crazies going on. You don't have to be in the middle of everything. So we decided to have a nice quiet night in. So he had the idea he goes, what would you have worn had we had gone out tonight? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I need to be mentally prepared for that. So to be fair, and in his defense, I definitely wasn't in the mindset, so I didn't enjoy it as much. Kind of a bummer, because I definitely loved dressing out for absolutely no reason. But he was like, yeah, what would you have worn? I'm going to go get dressed. I'm going to go pick out what I would wear, and I'm going to go get dressed. I'm like, the fuck? I mean, okay. Like, I'm totally all for this. It doesn't always happen. So I'm like, yes. I did it. I didn't have my heart into it. So I kind of felt bad, but it was a fun, like, okay, we didn't get to go out, but we dressed up a little bit. We had our charcuterie boards and meats and cheeses and champagne, and we enjoyed playing phase 10. And yes, it was that night, I think. But regardless, it was a nice way to incorporate each other and what we both like. And even though we didn't go out, it was kind of like we went out. We kind of did our same routine, enjoyed each other's company, and we definitely put our phones away. That's another thing. Just put it down. Even if you have to put a timer on it, put it down. Like, you have to, because you have to get that one-on-one. It's so important. So also finding out your love language, that will help too. But yeah.
I love you said, put it down. And I'm like, yep, you're not going to get it down if you don't put it down, right?
Correct.
I feel like it's like the phone is a major disconnector. And when
that is the biggest cock block I have ever encountered in my life.
Yeah.
I can't even.
It's so true. And so many of us are aware how embedded it is. That a lot of times I feel like we're sitting on our phones until we lift our head and we're like, wait, what am I doing? Like, why am I even on my phone? Right. It's just like
such a distraction.
Such a distractor. And you're not even aware at how many times you're on it, and suddenly it's so late and you're so tired, and it's like you just spent all your time doing nothing.
Correct. Right? And it ultimately ends up being nothing. Like, it's like, wait a minute, I just had 2 hours. Yeah, well, you spent 2 hours doing literally a game and scoping people out on the internet to give them an opinion that they don't care about anyway. Well, yeah, you did nothing. Did you contribute to anything in a positive way? Did you contribute to anything in any form beyond a game or something like that? You know, I will say I am very guilty about being on my phone all the time, but that's because most of my business stuff is on my phone. My clients are at my disposal at all times, and I'm working on boundaries. I'm setting myself, you know, a timer of like, okay, by 8 o'clock, I do want to have a hard off. Like, I don't want to do this all night. So getting a schedule down and being able to like block out my time has been very helpful, but the phone is the absolute worst. I'm also learning on there. Like, I'm constantly just relearning stuff. So
yes, and I think that's the problem. Like we feel like we are doing valuable things. You know, I think a lot of people are running their businesses online, answering emails. You know, like before, if you were in an office, even if you aren't independent, you still are doing a lot of work when you come home. And it's like that.
And maybe even more. Sorry, but maybe even more.
You definitely need to find that time and balance to have a no phone zone time. You know, like we do that in my family. Like we have our time and the phones are off, because it's so easy to fall into that phone trap, and then that's it.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yep. The phone trap is on, and then kiss the night goodbye, because
it's gone.
It's gone, right? And so
you all go off to your corners of the internet.
I think the biggest thing about having children and being mom is really setting the intention and knowing, because it's so easy to get distracted and take your relationship for granted. And it's so easy to have children, be in all of that chaos, like you said, planned chaos, but wake up, you know, 5-10 years later, and you two are so far apart and have nothing in connection, where, you know, then people get divorced and people don't know why they have, you know, why they
what happened.
Right? Well. Exactly. And so that's the main goal I have with this podcast is how much intimacy can you guys bring to your relationships at home? I truly hope that you took everything Amanda shared with us and really implement it. So please feel free to share with us. You know, we have the Moms Talk Sex Space group where you can share your own stories, anonymously or not, and let us know how, you know, how you're implementing these tips, because as you can tell, Amanda's awesome energy and all the stuff that she's, you know, juggling in her life, she still has time to play, you know, strip games and have fun experiences. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you, Amanda, for being here. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely, anytime.
Have you?
Thanks for having me.
Information. We hope you tune in with us next week. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the Moms Talk Sex podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like, and support our community by joining our Facebook group, Moms Talk Sex, or follow us on Instagram at Morph Healing. If you're interested in being a guest on our show, send us an email. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in to the Moms